Hi, this is BasilGreen speaking, and welcome to the Bread Basket Show. I am your host today. I took the stuff off Instagram, IGTV. I used to do this talk. I used to upload it on IGTV, and I used to be happy to do the stuff. I stopped for a while, and I decided, no, let me pull it off IGTV. I still have a few recordings on there that I put for Basil Green on Fire, but this one is on the Bread Basket Show now. Still Basil Green on Fire, but we're on the Bread Basket Show. I'd like to welcome you. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this recording that I've uploaded, and I hope this is gonna bless your life. I was inspired to do this podcast after I published my blog article today. Today is Wednesday, the 23rd of June. So today is Wednesday, and we are doing this recording just to get this word out to you. It really dawned on my heart, as I was, the title of the blog article is how to go up as others are trying to pull you down. Now, it's along those lines. It's not worded exactly as I'm reading. I am saying it now, but it's along those lines. Today's talk is about your seat, your seat in the workplace. But the title of the talk is Your Seat Has Already Been Paid For, so make the best of the opportunity. We're going to be talking about the workplace mainly. And now I took this here out of the blog article, so you can go and read the blog article and get an understanding of what I'm talking about. Now, the reason why I decided to name it Your Seat Has Already Been Paid For, so make the best of the opportunity. This is something I do as a thank you for all the stuff that I've experienced in my life. I want to serve you. I want to release stuff that is going to help you. And I believe the stuff that I'm going to share with you today is going to help you. You're working for somebody. You are doing something in somebody's business. It's mainly for people who are working in businesses. Now, you may be working for the government. The government gets money from people who pay tax. And then there's other places where they get their money from. And then NPOs get their money mainly from sponsors, people that sponsor or donate their money into there. But the business people, most of them, if not all, have to invest their own money and the money of investors as well, outside investments, and that money must generate a profit, and those people must make a return on their investments. So I'm speaking as somebody that has learned. I wasn't always carrying this knowledge. I've worked in a lot of places since I've completed high school, partly because I was very unstable. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was very unstable as an individual, as a young man, a teenager going into my young adult years. I was on drugs and alcohol. I share all of the stuff in my books that I've written. So I'm not going to go too much into detail about this. But I did not have the grip or the grit to keep a job. The longest job I've actually kept is my business. I've been doing this here for the past 6 or 7 years now. Since the end of 2014, September, I've been doing this. So I celebrate that I've been doing this job, and it's been a difficult journey getting this business off the ground and getting stuff out there. There's been a lot of attacks and battles. So, but I've worked in a lot of places, so I've been exposed to different working environments. This is before and after I gave my life to the Lord Jesus Christ. Yes, I'm a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ, but I'm going to be talking about you as an employee, because that's a very important thing. You as an employee, what happens when somebody hires you? This is the main thing that always gets to me. When I go into a company, especially since I've learned, I've done a course, not a course, you can say, where I got the certificate. I never even finished the Shanduka Black Umbrellas program. Now it's called Shanduka, but when I was there, it was called Shanduka Black Umbrellas. In 2015, from 2015 to 2017, I did their program and I learned some stuff. We did some workshops first, and then we had to go out and implement the learning that we received. When we did those workshops, I came across so many things that I didn't know about business, and it's really enriched my life. It's helped me to look at business from a different perspective. And as a business owner, you have to budget a lot of things. You have to put together a plan, and everything has to fall into place. Even the employees, an employee thinks that only costs you that salary that you take out to make sure that employee gets what they need. They think, okay, I'm only getting this amount. And sometimes we complain, but we get an understanding that, hey, today it just dawned on me. No, my eyes opened up again, and I thought, hey, you know what? And it's, you see, this topic of the blog article actually inspired me to go into this podcast and actually talk about this thing. I wanted to include it in the blog article, but I thought it's better to utter words rather than type them out, because it's a very, very important subject. Some things you can write them down, but some things it's nice to put them into spoken word. So I decided, no, I'm gonna go and talk about this here on my podcast. So it's about workplace environments. Now, the topic of my blog article was about people pulling you down as you are going up. Now, they wouldn't try to pull you down if they could not see you are going up in life. You might not be the richest man in the world, but you are experiencing a certain level of breakthrough, a certain level of elevation, a certain level of increase in your life. So John Maxwell says, if we are not growing, then we are dying. So we have to grow as human beings. You might be an old person. You're growing every single day. You're getting older and older. You're getting wiser and wiser. Your knowledge is even growing. So if you're not growing, you are dying. So we have to grow as human beings. And I thought maybe the people are saying, okay, if we don't want you to grow, then you must die. So they basically saying that stay in one place, become stagnant water is not good to drink. We go and drink water that's flowing. Stagnant water, there's parasites there, there's different kinds of things if the water's stagnant and you cannot drink it. Now imagine you as a person that's standing still. What value do you have to people? So we can't stand still. We have to be moving forward. Even if you're at home, your knowledge must be moving forward. Your life must be moving forward in a way that you are empowering yourself until you reach a certain level. When you do get hired, you're coming in there with greater knowledge than you had. So you've reached a certain level of success in your own life, and you are defining that success, and you know what makes you happy. you know what you are going after. So now you're coming into the workplace. The example I shared was about a particular situation that you could find yourself in. You come into a workplace, and from the time you come in, when you come into the interview up until you start working, there is sabotage in that environment. You are given wrong information. You are not treated well every single day. You are made to be looking like you're incompetent. Things that will hinder your growth in the workplace, things that will cause you not to excel. These are things, I'm not saying that's going to happen to you every single day, but the most of the time you are being made to look like you do not have the capacity to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. What ends up happening? You will be affected by it. I guarantee you, even if you're a strong person, you will be affected by that kind of treatment. You're gonna have to find ways to overcome it. You're gonna have to find ways to remove the negative effects of whatever it is that is happening to you. You're gonna have to find a motivation. I'm talking about you being trained even when you go to work. Now, I've been around a lot of working environments, and the trend is the same amongst the people that try to create sabotage in your life so that you do not excel in the workplace, and you do not, like information even gets removed from you so that you do not get that information. This is what I'm talking about. That you might see it as a small thing. It's not. Let me just explain something to you. Let's just say you're coming in now. It's your first day. You come in. You get there to the entrance. At the entrance, there's a security that has to meet you at the entrance. You sign. In most companies, it's like that. It's either you sign or you have a card to clock in, or some kind of thing that's going to give you access. You might even have the code to come in if you have a vehicle, or if you're a walk-in person. That point of access, you need access to it, and you are given that access because now you're an employee of the company, and that security guard has been hired to make sure that the right people come in and the wrong people are kept out of that building. I'm meaning the wrong people as in those who are coming to do stuff that is gonna destroy the business. People that are intruders, you are welcome in the building because now you are working in the company. You go in and you fill out that information that you need to fill out, your name, your surname, whatever it is. Even as it's COVID-19 now, our temperature must get taken, and we must put our temperature there every single day without fail. We have to do that because we are required to do that by the government. Now, we're not talking about the government today. We are talking about people that are working in businesses. You come in and you walk up the driveway. There's parking. Maybe there's parking there wherever you are. The company has made parking for the people because the company is taking care of their people. They're paying their people well. The people are making sure that their lives are moving forward. They are buying cars. The people that are getting paid well in the company, they are doing things. They are sorting out their lives. So they must make space for the people with cars so that they can come and park their cars in a safe place. Even if the company doesn't have a car park inside that vicinity, maybe they'll make a plan for you to go and park close by, and they will reserve those parkings to say that this is for our people. We want our people to come and use this parking space because we want them to have a place where it's safe for their vehicles to come, and they're not worried when they're inside the company about their vehicles. The company does that for you, And then you go into the workplace, there's a canteen, there's people cleaning up there, there's people cleaning up the yard, there's boom gates or whatever it is, lights are on, the coffee is dead, maybe you got a coffee machine, or you got the coffee that you manually make on your own. You take your teaspoons, there's plates, there's you name it that's there to help you as an employee. Probably there's a canteen in your workplace. There's seats for visitors. There's the HR. There's different departments in the company, and then there is your place and your team leaders and your supervisors, whatever it is, whatever your company calls your leaders, the management team that is there to lead and to guide you and to manage the business that the owner put together, or the owners put together, the partners, shareholders, whatever it is you call them in your company. Those people invested money so that you can get a job. So you come in and you realize that, oh, I've made it. Maybe they're paying you 10,000 Rand a month. Let's just say 2,005 a week. You're working Monday to Friday. You do not work on the weekends. You're getting paid 10,000 Rand a month, and you get given 500 Rand a day. That's how much it costs the company to pay you a salary. I believe it does not end there. It doesn't end there. Your salary isn't the last amount of money that the company is spending in order to keep you there in the company. Remember, if you're using a computer at the company, you must use the internet, or maybe the company's even provided free Wi-Fi for the employees, because there's businesses like that where the people can hook up onto the internet. They do that. There's companies where you can even get free phone calls. They give you phones. You can phone for free. Some people get car allowance. Some people get housing allowance for a couple of months, or maybe if they get moved into a different area, they get given a place to stay for 3 months or 6 months. The company tells you stay here, and while you are staying here, you can save up for your own place to stay. We'll take care of you while you find your way around this area. Now they do that for the people. People get given a lot of incentive, depending on the company that you're working for, and you get all of these things like medical aid. A company puts half. You're getting paid UIF. You put a certain percentage. The company puts a certain percentage. There's provident fund that the company provides, and other incentives, holidays, travel. There's for your kids, they put incentives there for studying. You name it, they putting all of these things together. There's a package that's been put together to make your working experience phenomenal. You are in the working environment, you're doing stuff there, and you are getting things done. And you all of a sudden, somebody gets intimidated by you, or maybe that person's not intimidated. Maybe that's the environment. That's how people treat each other in the company. Especially if you're new there, you get treated differently for a while, or whatever reason they have for treating you in a way that's gonna pull you down. Maybe they find out something about you from somebody from the outside, because these things happen, and that person knows somebody in the company, and they tell that person, oh, so and so, or that person one of the people in the company find out, okay, you from this community, these are the places you've worked before, and that person starts to ask around, oh, do you know so and so? And that person realizes, oh, you in that company. There's different reasons why people start to treat you differently, but at the end of the day, they start to make things very, very difficult for you. And as you're working and as you are doing your stuff, it gets difficult. and you're not performing at the level that you're supposed to be performing. Maybe you spend 3 months there. You realize, okay, you're on probation. They give you another chance. They say, okay, we're going to put you permanent now. And I know in COVID-19, people are losing their jobs. Some companies can't hire you permanently. They hire you on contract. But I'm just making the ideal situation here. So you get put permanent, you start working, but your performance, you can see it's not at the level that you would want it to be. You desire to do something very, very extraordinary, so that the investment that the company put into making your environment one of the best environments is a good investment, and they get a return. Now, depending on the type of business you're doing, you never know how high the employee turnover is. I know in the call center business, the employee, especially in the sales environment, employee turnover is very, very high. People are coming in and going out of call centers because of the high pressure in there, and people are always chopping and changing. But some work environments create high employee turnover because it is not conducive to keep those people. Those people end up saying, I'd rather not have a job than to stay in this environment. And then you find the company invested so much of time, so much of money into this person, and they don't get a good return on their investment. They took the person for training. They continually gave that person content to consume. They encouraged the people. They did stuff. They made everything good for the person. But at the end of the day, that person's the investment that they put into this person did not come back. And sometimes you find that the bosses don't know, the owners of the companies don't know what's going on in these environments. Now, I'm speaking also from a perspective of an employee and the perspective of a business owner. I know I wouldn't want somebody to be running my business that I know is causing a very bad experience for the employees, especially if I've invested my millions, or I can see this person's making me lose money. Imagine now, I'm just going to give you a picture of an employee that's disgruntled. Let's just say this person is working. They're the face of the company. They stay dealing with customers all day, and you are making that person's experience very, very difficult. You are losing money. You know that. You don't know who that person is speaking to. You don't know who they're getting in contact with. You are doing stuff to make their lives a misery, so that they don't get to excel in the business. I know you might not be the person that's doing it. Maybe you know somebody that's doing it. You can make them listen to this recording. But this is my encouragement to you. You have to understand. Now, I'm thinking from the perspective of you experiencing this, and also you looking from a mindset that you cannot become that kind of person. It's very easy to fall into that trap where we start to emulate the ones that are doing stuff to us. When somebody else comes into the company, we start to treat them the very same way. That is going to cause that kind of environment to become very, very toxic. For you that can sense things in places, you can pick up. Sometimes you come home trying, not understanding why are you so emotionally trained, physically trained, mentally trained, spiritually trained. It's because you have been in an environment that is very, very, very toxic, and you haven't been able to deal with that situation. Why? Because constantly you are faced with that kind of treatment in that environment. Now, I'm talking as a person that has been on the employee side and on the owner side. Now, I've not employed a lot of people in my business. I've had the privilege of being in an environment where we were groomed how to start a business and manage the business so that your business flourishes. And when I come into a company, sometimes after I've done this, I've worked as an employee. I was working even while I was doing my business. So I look at it and I think, okay, I'm in this company, but I mustn't forget that there are people that invested money. People put a plan together in order to make sure that this thing works. And when they put their plan together, most business owners, I don't want to be a business owner that's constantly fuguzering or working and working and working in a company. Most business owners don't work in their businesses, they work on their businesses. And when they're working on their businesses, they just leave somebody to manage the system that they have put together. And that system, you'll find it in the person's business plan. Whatever strategy that they have put together and tactics that they've decided that they're going to use, and the objectives that they've given for each department and each campaign that they have in the company, those people will run it. Not the owner, not the person that started the company. Most of the time, that person steps out and leaves people to manage. They just come and they analyze, or they come and see if the system is still being run the way they've put together. And they get people who are experts in putting all of those systems in place. That is the ideal thing for a business. But sometimes we got solopreneurs, we've got people that are still coming up, and there's different ways to do it. But I'm just giving you the ideal of a business, and most established businesses have that kind of thing. So you're coming into a company where there's people doing their own things. I think, does the owner know? Are y'all aware if the owner knows what you're doing to their company? Y'all are destroying the man's investment. I look at it and I think, whoa, why are these people being left to run around like this? I feel like just taking something and telling them, or ringing the person's ears and telling them, hey, do you all know? Many times this has happened to me ever since I've started out of business. Sometimes I'll come into a place and I think, okay, we're going to do, and you find that people start to make your life a living hell. In that thing, those people shouldn't have even given you a job. Why? Because the moment you do not perform, you're losing money. I understand about earning potential. I understand about a customer's lifetime value, but the employees' revenue generating ability, you also have to look at that. The owners invested money. That money has been managed by the people within the company. And when that person is managing that money in the company, they have to invest it in the right people. And if you've got people in your company or in your work environment that are not investing that money rightly, then those people don't need to be there, because they are a hindrance. They are sabotaging your business, even if they are bringing results. Think about this here. If they were to hire somebody and look after that person and make sure that person flourishes in the business and not ill-treat the person, you must know that person, if they have the right potential and if they've chosen right, that individual is going to excel and make lots of money for your business. I'm just speaking today. I need to do this. I was really sparked by that blog post that I put together today. As I'm just putting it, my writing might not be the best, but I'm trusting that my point has been brought across. A lot of individuals go through this stuff, because I've read a lot of stuff on internet, I've also read books. I've read about management experts talking about these things, about workplaces where employees aren't treated well by leaders, colleagues, and their uplines. These things happen, and the investment that the company is putting in to hiring that individual. Now, when a company hires somebody, there's two ways I know. There could be more, but my knowledge is that they either put an internal advertisement and then they'll put an external advertisement. Now, when they're advertising all of that, it takes time. It takes money to do all of those things. When they're doing all of those things, they expect a return. No one wants to be doing interviews for nothing. No one wants to be taking people into orientation or onboarding. No one wants to teach the person, spend 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Some companies, you even spend a month or 2 months, 3 months going through their rigorous process. Some companies, you spend 6 months. They spend a very long time looking for the right individuals. And when the individual comes in there, you start to treat the person funny. Just think about it. It's like a guy going through all that work. Then they got the woman, and when the woman is there, they start to do stuff that is not right. That's you wasted all your time doing stuff like that. So you got the person to say yes. You might be sussing that person out as you or interviewing that person, but even that person is also looking at your company and asking themselves, is this the right place for me to invest my time? Remember, people are coming to spend 8 hours of their time. We spend most of our time at work, and that person's going to think, is this worth my time to come here? All right, I'm getting a salary, yes, but is it worth my time? Is it worth my health? Is it worth my sleep breaking? Or is it worth my time? Is it worth my energy to be in this kind of environment? But at the end of the day, your bosses, the person that invested money into the business, that person must get something out of the employee that you have hired. Now, I want to create leaders, and most of the time, I talk to leaders. I don't know if I'll have the grace to do this to you as a leader. I work for somebody. I'm an employee and I'm a business owner at the same time. So I've got my own company that I'm trying to build on the side, and I also got my company. I've got a company that I work for, somebody else's business that I'm helping to build. So I understand. I've been in other companies as well. I've worked in many places, and I've shared that I have been an unstable person in my life, and I'm trying my best now to not be that person that I used to be. That's why I celebrate my business. I said, okay, I've at least I've stayed in this company for 6 years. I've my company. I've ran with this thing for 6 years. I've seen some results, not the results I would love, but I've seen some results. But when you work for a person, I need to drum this into your mind. It just irritates me as an individual. I don't mind going into a company. I know my intentions are pure. I'm not there to waste anybody's time. I'm not there to destroy the company. I am there to add value. That's what I want to do. Why? Because I'm also honoring the word of God that I read, but I'm also honoring the person that invested money into that business. besides the people that hired me when they interviewed me and all. But at the end of the day, I am honoring the person that invested money into that business. That individual took the time to go out and look for investments if they went for investments, or they took the risk and they invested their own money. Many people don't understand that business people have sleepless nights. Some don't eat for months. They don't live on a salary. They have to borrow from friends, families, do all kinds of things to make their business idea work. And you'll find that there's people that come into a company and they do their own damn things. Excuse my language, my French, but I'm gonna open up and just say what I feel in my heart. There are people that can come into companies and do whatever they wish they can do, and they destroying the person's company. That one person, how much revenue generating potential? This is something I'm just speaking. Maybe there's lingo like that in the business world, but there's how much revenue generating potential or profit making potential does that individual have, and how much you've invested in that person, and how much can you draw out of that person after you've invested yeah, some money, some time, energy, but everything that you are doing in that company costs money. That time that you are spending costs money. You know, the things that the electricity, all of that stuff, the building. If those people bought the building, maybe they bought it for millions, hundreds of millions. We don't know how much that individual has really invested. Why? Because we're not sitting with the books. We know how much it costs them to pay us our salary. Maybe we know how much it costs them to pay our followers, the people on our team, their salaries. But it probably ends there. But there's people that are sitting with bigger numbers. They watching every single day. Some people are just worried about the revenue. How much does it cost to get this thing going? You know, they want to know how much are you bringing into the company. Now, if you have one person hindering your growth, so that person is blocking off the owner's ability to get money. They're not blocking you off. They're blocking the owner. They're blocking the team. They're blocking everybody off from excelling. That's why I get irritated with leaders that do their own things in companies. I get irritated with employees. All right, people make mistakes. They fall by the wayside, and you realize that if a person is doing their best to get the results done, you rather invest in those kind of individuals. But there's a certain kind of individual that is very dangerous to the company that you are running or owning. That's the individual who destroys lives, because people are destroying lives, who comes in to make it very difficult for employees, and then they cover up their stuff that they are doing. And it takes years for companies to find out that this individual was doing all of this stuff to people. And the people did voice it. The people were leaving. The people said that they're not happy. And no one did anything. And then at the end of the day, you find that your company starts to lose money because they are unhappy. Employees that are unhappy are not going to treat your customers right. They're not going to do the right thing. They're not going to go the extra mile for the company unless that person is just naturally a person that's motivated. Other than that, most employees, if they are treated bad on the job, they will stay there because they have to put food on the table. But some will leave if they get a better opportunity. Some will just decide, no, I'd rather not stay here and go and do what I need to do wherever I'm going and do it. They'll do the bare minimum just to make sure that they keep their job, some of these people. But the way they will treat your customers, especially if you're a service-orientated business that is generating sales, that need people to go out there and treat customers right, you are not going to get the best out of those people. At the end of the day, when those customers are treated badly, over time the results will show. And if you are promoting the wrong kind of leaders, over time, it might not take 3 months, 4 months. I'm talking about stuff that will start to knock you after 3-4 years. You start to see the cracks in the wall. 5 years down the line, 6 years down the line, you start to wonder what is happening. Why are our customers just leaving us? Why is this not working here? Why is this not working there? When you look at your books, we've lost so many people that have come in. We've invested so much money in individuals. Why are things not working? Now, I don't have all the knowledge. Some of the things I'm using my common sense. Some of the stuff I'm using my education that I've received. And some of the things I'm using my experiences. So bear with me. If you find that I've spoken stuff that is a little bit off, I'm okay with it. I'll go back and learn more. At the end of the day, I'm not a person that has all knowledge, but I'm going to speak as I see things right now. And I believe that many employees need to be treated well. Leaders need to be treated well. But at the end of the day, you have one leader who will be leading 10, 15 people at a time, 20 people at a time, 100 people at a time. And if that person is not mature enough to run the business the way he's supposed to be running that portion of the business, then you're going to have disaster in your camp. If that person is prone to taking shortcuts, especially if they've been taught by somebody that took shortcuts to get to where they are, you are going to see the problem manifesting after a while. But you have to have an eye to see that. You have to have an eye to see where things can end up if you do not watch. So you don't only watch certain results, but you must also watch how people are being treated, because at the end of the day, it's like the goose and the golden egg principle. If you keep the goose just from you want the goose just to produce results, and the goose will produce results for 5 years without you treating that thing right. But after a period of time, that goose, if you are not looking after it, its longevity, the ability to produce over a longer period of time will be affected. Why? Because you failed, you neglected to invest in that person's ability to do something over a longer period of time. This is just what I am sensing. I could be wrong about your business, but maybe it's applicable to somebody else's business. Or I could be right about your business and wrong about another person's business. You have to take the stuff, sit down with it, analyze it, think about it, and decide whether it's going to be applicable to your business. If 90% of what I said is applicable, throw away the 10%. It might not be applicable. Don't throw it away. In fact, keep it. It might be applicable for a future time. Sometimes we speak things that might not affect us now, but it could pop up in the future. So this is education I'm giving to you. Use it. If you don't use it, you might lose it. So find a way to use the stuff that I'm giving to you. I thought I'll just ramble today and talk about the blog post that I put together. I believe that it's done something to me today. We have to make a decision, people, about what we're gonna do in our work environments. There's people out there that want to do work, and they want to invest their time, their experiences, their abilities, the value that they have to come and bring. Yet there are people within companies that are hindering that ability. And you find that because of those people, your company might suffer damage. Might not see it now, but in the long run, you will see it. And then you will not understand what happened or what hit you. So it's very important. If you're a business owner, I'll say, hey, send people to go and spy on your people. You don't do it in a bad way by invading people's privacy, but there has to be some kind of way you go in and you look and you see what's happening there. In the Word of God, I'm gonna divert. I always do this, not all the time, but when Moses was going out to take the promised land, they sent people in to go and see how's the land first and what's up for the taking, and then they went in. I think the principle applies even in your company. Don't just leave it there. You have to also go and find people that can go in and look what's going on. People that won't be corrupted by the lure of just making a fast buck, or the lure of climbing up the corporate ladder, and all of those things. These people must be trusted. They must be people will come back with a good report because they care about your business. That's just my suggestion. I know you gotta trust your employees, but it's also to protect your employees, your leaders, and your investment in your business. Those people can go out and become your eyes in your business. This is just an idea from the stuff that I've read about. There are a lot of people that do that, I'm sure. Maybe I'm not talking something new, but at the end of the day, there has to be people that can go out and look and see, okay, what is going on in this business. They're going to say you're a spy if you're one of those people that have been sent out. But at the end of the day, we can't be selfish because the opportunity has been presented for employees to be there. Yes, you're not making the profits. At the end of the day, you're getting a share of what the person is doing. It's their business, it's their idea. An idea is worth a lot. They took the time out to actually strategize and think about this thing that you are doing now. You had an opportunity to work in, and you agreed to invest your time to work. Yes, we complain sometimes, and the money might not be a lot. You don't make your employer responsible for the money that you need to make in your life. There's a going salary in the market, a market related salary, and then you have to take whatever you are getting and you have to work that principle. Now there are companies that don't want you to excel. They want you to work only for them. That's a different story. That's between you and the company. If they want you to work only for them, they must be able to negotiate and tell you how much they'll pay you to do that. But at the end of the day, you can work for somebody and also do your stuff on the side. I know a lot of people that are doing that, and they are doing good in their lives. But at the end of the day has been ending. How long I've been saying that? Treat your employees right. And if you're a person that has been pulled down in the workplace, don't join those people when somebody else comes in. You are blocking your boss's ability to make cash. You're not creating a good system within a company, and you might make somebody's life a living hell, and then at the end of the day, you will I don't know why I started using that word so much, but you are gonna leave a damage. I guarantee you are gonna leave a trail of damage, and especially if you're part of a team of people that don't push out a lot. Are they just doing what they are required to do? They are giving an illusion that they are doing something great when it's not that great, but it's just the bare minimum of what is required. And there's another thing that is damaging as well. When people take other people's results and use those results as their own, you will not excel as a business if you're gonna be developing leaders in that kind of way. Then you're gonna have to duplicate that model, and what you're gonna have only a bunch of people that are not knowledgeable in what they say they are knowledgeable in, people that are not skilled in what they say they are skilled in. And what you're going to see as you're moving forward as a unit, there are going to be cracks in your system, and you won't understand why, because you are seeing results on paper, but the capacity of that person that is saying they are producing those results isn't at that level. And especially when they are put in a situation where they have to deal with certain problems, especially now in COVID-19, where they're going to have to deal with certain problems, it's going to be difficult for them to deal with those problems. Why? Because they're not at that level of thinking. You see, so our thinking has to also grow. Our capacity has to grow. We have to match the challenge that is in front of us. I'm guaranteeing you'll see it. It might not show now. It's like a person that claims they can do mechanical work. They'll do the work, but once you start driving the car, you start to see, no, this person didn't know what they were doing. And over time, you see that, hey, the person actually caused damage to the vehicle rather than fix the vehicle. It came back worse than it was when you sent it to the individual. We know people like that. Or maybe somebody will come claiming they can build, somebody claiming that they can tile, or they claim that they can do some woodwork, or they claim they can drive, or they claim they can do a certain job within the workplace. And after that person leaves that place, or after the work is finished over a period of time, you start to realize this person doesn't have the skills, they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the capacity to do what they are doing. And I know in some companies, leaders actually sponge off their followers, especially if they've got somebody that's talented and knowledgeable within their team. They will sponge off that person and take the results and make it as if they are the ones that were achieving the results. I've been around, I'm telling you now, I've seen a lot of stuff happening in companies and in organizations. I've seen things taking place, and I've walked away from some, knowing that this is not the right environment. And I've heard of people talking also, complaining about environments like that. And I've read about these kinds of things. So I just felt today that I needed to let off some steam about that particular issue in the workplace. It's gonna destroy companies, especially when things like COVID-19 hit. Those people that are left in the company will not know what to do. And when competition rises, or when they start to notice companies are running away by the thousands, what is happening? Why? Because over a period of time, things started to take traction. The name of the company started to go down and down and down. Why? Because you had people in that place that were doing the wrong thing but acting like they were doing the right thing, and at the end of the day, it damaged your company's or your owners or your partners' investment. There are some people that are also there just to steal from the company. That's another topic on its own. There's leaders that do that. They know how to crook the system. But don't worry, because I spoke these things to you, you are gonna sort the problem out. I thank you. This is Basil Green speaking. I rambled today, but I know everything will come together. It will make sense in your mind as you sit down and ponder on this stuff. Keep coming back so that you can get more stuff like this. Next time I won't be as long as I have been today. But if you are driving, download the stuff. You can put it into your car. That's the nice thing about recording podcasts. Podcast, you can download it, put it into a USB or do whatever and listen to it in your car. Listen to it while you're jogging. Listen to it while you're cooking, or do the stuff when you're free. You don't have to always be live, but I prefer for you to get it live and then download the stuff and record and listen to it over and over and over and over. There's people who I listen to over and over and over and over. I go back to their stuff, I read it. Repetition is good, so that some of these things can be ingrained in you. Then you can become a person that is going to be doing the right thing when you're required to do the right thing. So I have come to the end of my Basil Green on fire. This is other fire I've been spitting today, but I hope it's going to ignite you, not destroy you. I don't want to be doing stuff that is going to be destroying you. I don't want to teach destructive principles. I want to be teaching you stuff that will help you to destroy the wrong things in your life, and the fire that comes to burn up all of that stuff. So spark a flame, let's build an inferno wherever we are, and that thing will dissolve all the things that are not supposed to be there. Until next time, I am your speaker. Goodbye.